Hi everybody, this is Robin. My Instagram is Mother Pixels. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to do long exposures in a couple of simple, easy steps. If this is your first time and you want to learn how to do a long exposure, this is the video that you have to watch. So the beauty of a long exposure photo is that it creates a dynamic image because you capture movement of either water or clouds. These are great for waterfall shots, if there's traffic. So long exposure photography creates a tension between moving elements and non-moving elements, which creates a very dynamic and very unique image that no amount of Photoshop can ever recreate. So the first thing you have to do is scout your composition. Once you realize what it is that you want to take a photo of, then you set it up on a tripod. So you have to set up your camera on a tripod if you're doing a long exposure that's about over a second long, simply because you are not able to hold yourself that steady. Anything over a second, for me, the general rule of law is set it up on a tripod and do not take any chances. Because if you think that there's no camera shake, you'll be horrified when you finally get home and you open up your picture and there's a slight motion blurred, and then that's it, wasted opportunity. So once you've set up your composition on your tripod, you have to manually focus on your shot. So when you place this in front of your lens, if you suddenly change your composition, your camera is blind. This is like blindfolding your camera. So it will not know where to focus. And if you try to take a shot, it will either stop you from taking a shot because it cannot see, or your image will come out really blurry in general because there will be no focus point. So my two favorite ones are the 10-stop ND filter. This is from NiSi Optics USA. Absolutely love this filter system. And then this is the 6-stop ND filter. And this is for my golden hours. So for sunrise and sunset, 6-stop ND filter will allow you to do about 1 to 2 minute long exposures. And then the 10-stop ND filter will allow you to do 1 to 2 minute long exposures during the day. It is important for you to buy quality ND filters when doing long exposures because you want to retain true to color image. So if you buy like a cheap ND filter that you screw onto the front of your lens, it could cast a horrible color on your images that you'll never be able to fix post-process. So the ones that I am using are from NiSi Optics USA. It's a great filter system kit. I have the advanced landscape filter system, and it brings everything that you need from polarizers, ND filters, grad ND filters. Anyways, I will leave the link in my bio for you to check it out. Once you have set up your composition, the next thing you want to do is set up a 2-second timer. And this is because while you're pushing down on your shutter, you don't want any kind of movement. So once you push down the shutter, there will be a 2-second delay between you pushing down the shutter and when the photo is actually being taken. And then this will guarantee that there's absolutely no camera shake. You can either do a timer or you can do a shutter remote release. And this is actually important if you plan to do exposure that's over 30 seconds, because most cameras can only do up to 30 seconds of long exposure. Otherwise, you have to switch to bulb mode, and then basically, as long as you're pushing down the button, and let's say you want to do a 1 minute exposure, you push down the button, you lock it in, it'll do a 1 minute exposure, but then you'll need one of these to be attached to your camera. Without further ado, let's test this puppy out. Now that I'm in the comfort of my own home, let's review the 5 steps to set up a long exposure shot. So first is figure out what your composition is going to be. Once you have figured out your composition, the second thing you need to do is set it up on a tripod, because anything over 1 second, you will most likely get some kind of camera shake because you cannot hold your hands very steady. 3, lock it in manual. Lock that focus with manual settings. That way, when you insert your ND filter, your camera knows exactly where it needs to be focused to take that shot. And the 5th and final step is either do a 2-second timer or use your shutter remote release so that we can ensure that there's absolutely no camera shake when you're pushing down that button. If you like this video, make sure to check out my other videos. I have other content on composition and editing and gear and so much more. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more.